Scene script. Picture this, you're in your 20s, living your best life. But suddenly, an unexpected expense hits. Panic ensues. Sounds familiar? Don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we'll show you why financial planning matters. Imagine having the freedom to make choices that are not dictated by your bank account. That's the power of financial planning. It's not just about saving for a rainy day, but about gaining independence and security. It's about making your money work for you, instead of you working for your money. Financial planning starts with understanding where your money is going, setting realistic goals, and then crafting a plan to achieve them. Whether you're saving for a new car, a house, or retirement, financial planning is your roadmap to success. And remember, it's never too early or too late to start. Every step you take today towards financial planning is a step towards a more secure and fulfilling future. So, if you want to avoid those panic moments, stick around. We have some great stories to share next. Ever heard of self-made millionaires in their 20s or 30s? They exist, and they started early. Let's dive into their stories. First, let's talk about Sophia. She was only in her early 20s when she realized the importance of financial planning. She started with a simple budget, cutting out unnecessary expenses and focusing on saving. She worked part-time jobs, saved diligently, and by her late 20s, she had amassed a considerable nest egg. But she didn't stop there. Sophia invested her savings wisely, and today, she is a proud homeowner with a diversified investment portfolio. Then we have Alex. Fresh out of college, Alex was burdened with student loans. Instead of despairing, he took it as a challenge. He followed a strict budget, allocated a portion of his income towards his loans, and even started a side gig to accelerate his repayments. Today, Alex is debt-free, and he has begun his journey towards financial freedom. Next, meet Lily, a young entrepreneur who started her own business in her early 20s. She knew the value of every penny and made sure her business was financially sound from the start. She reinvested her profits, sought out investors, and took calculated risks. Today, her company is thriving, and she is on her way to becoming a self-made millionaire. And finally, let's look at Sam's story. Sam was always fascinated by the stock market. While his peers were spending their money frivolously, Sam started investing, even if it was just a small amount. He learned about different stocks, followed market trends, and made informed decisions. Today, at just 30 years old, Sam has built a substantial investment portfolio. These are just a few examples of young individuals who started their financial planning early. Their strategies varied, their challenges were different, but they all had one thing in common. They understood the importance of financial literacy and made it a priority. Impressive, right? Now let's see how you can start your own success story. Ever wonder where your money goes each month? It's time to find out and take control with budgeting. Now, budgeting isn't as daunting as it sounds. It's simply about understanding what comes in and what goes out. Step 1. Track your income, be it from your job, side hustles, or even grandma's birthday checks. This is your starting point. Step 2. Monitor your expenses. These could be fixed, like rent or phone bills, or variable, like dining out or shopping. Step 3. Categorize your spending. This helps you identify where you might be splurging a little too often. Is it takeout meals or those irresistible online deals? Once you've got this down, you can start adjusting your habits. Maybe cook at home more often, or limit online shopping to once a month. Remember, a budget isn't about limiting your fun, but about making your money work for you. Saving money isn't always easy, but it's key to financial security. Let's explore some strategies. First off, setting savings goals is crucial. It's like setting a destination before heading out on a road trip. You need to know where you're going. Want to buy a car in 2 years? Plan for it. Dreaming of a vacation in Hawaii? Start saving now. Next, automate your savings. By setting up automatic transfers to your savings account, you're less likely to spend that money impulsively. It's a set it and forget it method that works wonders. Lastly, consider trimming down unnecessary expenses. That daily cup of premium coffee or monthly subscription you barely use. Those coins add up. By cutting back on these, you'll be surprised at how much you can save. Remember, every little bit counts. Start small and watch your savings grow. Ready to make it grow even faster? Let's talk about investing. Investing might sound intimidating, but it's a powerful tool for growing your wealth. Let's demystify it. You see, investing is essentially putting your money to work for you. It's an exciting way to grow your wealth over time. The magic of investing lies in a concept called compound interest. Think of it as interest on interest. It's a snowball effect where your money makes money and then that money makes even more money. There are various investment options suitable for young adults. Stocks, for instance, represent a share in the ownership of a company. Mutual funds, on the other hand, are a pool of funds from various investors used to buy a diverse portfolio of stocks, bonds, or other securities. And then there's retirement accounts like a 401k or an IRA, which offer tax advantages for retirement savings. So investing isn't as scary as it sounds, right? But what about managing debt? Let's jump into that next. Debt can feel like a dark cloud hanging over your head, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see how to manage it effectively. Now, debt might sound scary, but it's not always a bad thing. It can be a tool to finance your dreams, like an education or a home. The key is to manage it wisely and responsibly. So how do you do that? Well, first things first, understand what you owe. Make a list of all your debts, including student loans, credit cards, or any other loans. Write down the amount you owe, the interest rate, and the minimum monthly payment. This will give you a clear picture of your financial situation. Next, prioritize your debts. Not all debts are created equal. Some are more urgent than others, with higher interest rates or penalties for late payment. Typically, it's wise to prioritize paying off high-interest debts like credit cards before tackling lower-interest ones such as student loans. Now, let's talk about responsible borrowing. It's essential to only borrow what you can afford to repay. If you're considering taking on more debt, think about your ability to pay it back. Consider your income, your expenses, and your existing debt obligations. Payment discipline is another crucial aspect of debt management. Make sure to pay your bills on time, every time. Late payments can result in fees, increased interest rates, and a negative impact on your credit score. Debt repayment strategies can also help. Two popular methods are the snowball method, where you pay off your smallest debts first to gain momentum, and the avalanche method, where you pay off your highest interest debts first to save on interest payments. Lastly, consider seeking professional advice if you're struggling with debt. There are numerous non-profit organizations that offer free or low-cost debt counseling. Remember, managing debt is about making smart decisions, not depriving yourself. Speaking of smart decisions, let's discuss an essential one: building an emergency fund. Life is full of surprises, and not all of them are pleasant. An emergency fund can be your financial safety net. It's a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. These unexpected events can be stressful and costly. Here's where an emergency fund comes into play. Think of it as a financial buffer. It's not for holidays or impulse buys, but genuine emergencies. So how do you start one? Firstly, aim to save at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Start small if you need to. Every little bit counts. Consider setting up a separate savings account specifically for this purpose, making it less tempting to dip into these funds. Regularly contribute a certain amount each month. Over time, you'll build up a substantial safety net. Remember, the goal is not to touch this money unless absolutely necessary. An emergency fund is your financial cushion. Now, let's look at some tools that can make managing your finances easier. In the digital age, managing your finances is easier than ever. Let's check out some tools and apps. There are a plethora of options available to assist with budgeting, saving, and expense tracking. From apps that round up your change for savings, to tools that generate detailed budget reports, technology has truly revolutionized personal finance. These platforms can provide real-time insights, reminders, and personalized tips to help you stay on top of your financial game. With the right tools, you're well equipped to manage your finances. But where are you heading? Let's talk about setting long-term goals. What's your dream? Owning a house? Traveling the world? Let's see how financial planning can get you there. Imagine your future, the life you desire. Now, how will you make it happen? Start by setting clear, long-term financial goals. Whether it's buying a home, retiring early, or exploring the globe, each goal requires a unique plan. Create a roadmap and follow it diligently. Adjust as needed, but stay committed. Your goals are within reach with the right plan. Remember, You're not alone on this journey. Let's answer some of your questions. You've got questions, we've got answers. Let's dive into our viewer-submitted questions about financial planning. Our first question comes from a viewer who asks, how can I start investing with a small budget? That's a great question. You can start by investing in low-cost index funds or exchange-traded funds. These options are affordable and a great way to get your feet wet in the world of investing. Our next question is, how can I save money while paying off student loans? Another excellent question. One strategy is to make a budget that includes your loan payments and stick to it. Consider cutting unnecessary expenses and finding ways to increase your income. Remember, every little bit helps. We've covered some ground today, but there's always more to learn. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances. Thank you for joining us today, and here's to your financial success.